Hello, my name is Helen. I am a personal trainer, and here is a really short 10-minute video that's completely designed to burn out your abs. It's 10 minutes, we don't repeat any move more than once. Each move just for 30 seconds, and we just get a brief little pause in between each one just to you just need to take breaks whenever you need to take breaks. So if you need some, especially if you're feeling it somewhere that's not your abs, it's more maybe in your back. So take breaks as needed, and I'm going to give you some options to make it either harder or easier to suit. So make sure you do what's right for you. And the only thing you need is your body weight and maybe a mat, if you've got one. And if not, just going to lie down on your back to start with. Whoosh. Start with flat kicks. Push your hands into the floor by your side. Straighten your legs and lower them until you feel the work in your abs. And you're just going to kick the legs up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So it might be up here, it might be higher, and you might be closer to the floor. The thing everyone's tempted to do is wedge their hands under. Don't do that. If anything, if needed, bend your legs and stay higher. You want to make sure you're training your core by tilting and bracing rather than wedging your hands underneath. That is one down. Perfect. Have a little hug in with your knees. Maybe open the knees to release your hip flexors. And then you're going to straighten the legs up over the hips, flex the feet. Then you're going to reach up towards the toes and lower yourself back down. Reach up, try and touch the toes and lower down. You might not be able to touch the toes, and that's fine. You come as far as you can. You might not be able to straighten your legs, in which case, just straighten them as much as you can, and you do the same lift and release. If you're very flexible, you're going to be tempted to have your knees back here, maybe with straight legs, and then the toes are just very easy to touch. So keep the feet and the knees over the hips. Perfect. And release. Have a little hug in with the legs. Now, very similar to the flutter kicks, where the legs went up and down. This time they're going to cross over and over. So you straighten the legs, you lower them where you can, and then you cross one leg over the other and switch, 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 and switch. Same thing. I think everyone always feels this pressure to be down here, which is absolutely fine to do if you're able to, but then that's where people do the wedge. So if you need to be higher, don't feel the pressure to go to the floor. Same option though, if you need to, bend your knees. Maybe even go a little bit slower so you can focus on it in your ab muscles and not your back. It is very normal to also feel your thighs and your hip flexors in this one. Perfect. Have a little hug in. We go for leg raises. I don't know why they're called leg raises and not leg lowers. But you start in that same position. You're going to lower your legs as far as you can towards the floor and then lift them back up. So lower legs as far as you can towards the floor and then push back up. So it might be that you don't go that far. It's a teeny tiny. That's okay. You might be having to do one leg at a time instead. That helps reduce the load. And you might again need to go with a bent leg, either one leg at a time or both at the same time. The goal is to feel your abs working, not your back, and keeping your back as close to the floor as you can. Yeah, nice, perfect. Can we just shoot out? So we're actually going to rock ourselves up to sitting, and then we're going to shoot ourselves back down to where we were. So you're shooting out the arms and legs, and then coming back in again. Shooting out, catching with the shoulders off the floor, and then coming back in. This is a massive movement. So legs off the floor, shoulders off the floor, just to lower back down. If you need less, bring your hands down and extend your legs from there and tap down. So you use your hands for just a little bit of support. You can also, again, do one leg at a time if you need a little bit less. Perfect. Have a little hug in of your legs. And you're going to stretch out really long like a pencil on the floor. Arms out, stretch, legs out, stretch. You lift one leg on both arms. And then lower yourself back down and then do the other leg. And then keep repeating right and left. Now, if you need less, bend your knee instead. And also, potentially, you might not be able to sit all the way up. Because the goal is to get a V shape. So that's you're sitting on your bum, your leg is lifted, and your upper body is lifted. V. Rather than an L shape where you're down and just in a crunch. But if you can only hit the crunch, perfect. Just come as far up as you can. Perfect. Getting into a regular sit-up. So you bring your heels in roughly 90 degrees. Easier is feet further away or straight. Hands on opposite shoulders if you can. Curl your way up. Elbows hit the top of the knees and then roll yourself down. So the goal here is to have hands on opposite shoulders if you can. If you need to though, you can slightly swing the arms to help yourself up. You could also grab your thighs and rock yourself up and then just work on the lowering phase, or just stick with a half sit or a crunch if you can't get up further. But yeah, if you're struggling, just take your feet further away, it will make it easier. Nice, rock yourself up. How are you finding it? You're going to sit up tall with a straight spine and then round your spine and then lean back. And then we're just going to hold here. So you're going to hold this C-sit position. Now, if you need less, you sit up a little bit higher. Or you even maybe just ever so slightly hold onto your legs. If you want more, lift the legs up, but not to the point that they're just dangling down. Actively lift the legs up, or maybe even straighten. But just make sure your spine is staying a bit rounded. That's the C-sit rather than the B-sit, and you're going to keep that pressure focused on your abdominals. Abdominals. Perfect. Now you can land the heels down or not. Option to keep them up and option to keep them straight. We're going to take the hands forward. We're going to twist side to side in that same C-sit position. Russian twists. So same options apply here. If you need less, you sit up a little bit higher. You can also, again, take little bits of breaks if you need. If you want more, you can lean back further or lift the legs off or extend your legs out long. You're trying to get as much rotation, not just the hands going side to side, but your entire body twisting right and left. Twist and twist. Perfect. Are you ready? We've got a whole bunch of planks. So you plank with your hands or your forearms, knees or toes. Take your knees or feet wider than normal and do right hand to left shoulder. Tap it down, left hand to right shoulder, tap it down. So you're right underneath the body, tailbone is tucked, so we're not arching the back, the hips out down low. And if you want more, up on the toes. The goal here is to make sure the hips are as stable as possible and they're not rocking around side to side. And now I've just got Christmas song in my head. Do you know what song it is? Rocking around. Sorry. Stop. And if you are rocking, take your feet wider or drop your knees down. So the goal is stability. We're going to slow cross mountain climbers. So it needs to be on your hands for this one. Knee comes across the body to opposite elbow. Slow. Tap it back. Switch. Tap. Switch. And tap. Now this is quite hard to do on the knees. So if you are on the knees, do the same elbow instead. So knee comes around to the same elbow instead of across the body. It's a bit hard to have the space to come and do. Hard but not impossible. But yeah, we tend to work the obliques. Otherwise, anyway. Either way. The timer coming down. Get all this done. Oh yeah, have a little shower pose. Have a little release of your shoulders. So now we're going to mountain climbers with the knees. Go straight through the middle, and if you can, we're going at pace. So you lift up, you keep the weight over the hands, and you're going to run your legs in towards your hands. Not so fast that you don't feel your arms, but fast enough you've got a bit of pace. However, if you need to, you can absolutely do this where you step out, and you can again do this with the knee down if you are needing a little bit less. Or you can also do it on an incline. For example, you do it with all these planks, hitting up on like a bench or a sofa, and doing it a bit higher. That will be a little bit easier for you. And take a little break. It's a lot of on the wrist. If you want to do the plank back on the forearms now, you absolutely can. Go for an alternate leg lift. So hands on forearms, knees or toes. You're on your plank. You lift one leg up, pause. Place it back down. Lift the other leg, pause. Place it back down. Watch that you've not just let your back go. And again, you can be on the knees. You can absolutely do this on the toes. I said it, and I did the opposite. But I feel like you can work out what I mean. And if you feel like you're something sliding backwards or your back's arching, do take a break. Maybe take the incline. Bum. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, nice. Well done, have a little shake, a little release. Oh, shake off the shoulders. Come into plank jack. So that's like star jump. Your feet are going to go out and in. Hands or forearms. Feet are going to go out together, up together. If you need a lower impact, step out together. And same options apply. You can be on the knees, step out, and in. And same thing again, feel free if you need to use an incline of some sort to make it a little bit easier. And feel free to go on the forearms. So many options for you, so make it work for what you're feeling right today. How your abs doing? Oosh. Perfect. Coming to a plank saw. This one I recommend on the forearms if you can. All you can do with your feet is go onto tippy toes and then push your heels back. So from here, you push into tiptoes and then heels push back. Tiptoes and heels push back. So just a rock forward and back. Your hips shouldn't lift up and down, they stay level. If you're on your knees, just think drag the ground towards you, push the ground away. So it's a little bit smaller, but it's the same principle. She's pulling and pushing without the hips going up and down. We're nearly done. You're about to do your final exercise. Perfect. We're going to roll over, arms and backs, go for a banana shaped hold. So you lie down your back, straighten your legs out, straighten your arms behind your head and hold. Try and lift your shoulders away from the floor. So you can be here. You can absolutely be down here. You can be with bent legs if you need it. If you find it too much for the arms overhead, you can have your arms forward. But a lot of your back has contact with the floor. Just your shoulders are peeling off. And the further your legs and arms are away, the more challenging, the closer, and a little bit easier. It doesn't mean it's easy, but maybe a little easier. You've got the final 10 seconds. Keep breathing. Your abs hopefully are shaking a little bit right now. You've got another 3, 2, and 1. Oi! And give your knees a good squeeze. And I'd recommend just rolling over into your stomach. Bring your forearms underneath you. Feel the stretch of your abs. Maybe even pushing up onto the hands. But if that feels pinching your lower back, stay down. And then you might like to also come and do a few little cat and cows. But yeah, well done. That was 10 minutes all abs. Really fast pace, really short and sharp. Hopefully you felt it. You felt that you worked hard. I'll see you soon.